everybody, so this video here is inspired by Sassy Devine. She is a legendary pageant queen and showgirl. If you have a favorite drag queen, she was probably inspired somewhere along the line by Sassy Devine. Both the makeup and hair are inspired by the same thing. It is inspired by this photo here. Hair straight middle part. My middle part is maybe a little bit off to the side. And the makeup is a beautiful black smoky eye with this lip with the apparent overlining. It is gorgeous. Loves it. I really am obsessed with Sassy Devine. If you see this, Sassy, I hope you know how much we appreciate your visibility and your glamour. You are a trans icon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Alrighty, so we're starting out with my favorite brow product ever, and that is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. And I am just going ahead and filling in my brows. After that, I'll be using the Louise Base on the eyes, and I'm going to be using a couple palettes today. So one is the Orgy palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, one is the Cremated palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and one is the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 2. So I was looking for something that had a touch of like a berry color to put on the inner portion of the crease. So that's why I went ahead and went with that. So we're taking from the Orgy palette the color Bottom, and we're placing that all over the crease as like a nice transitional color. That way it kind of blends in with the purplish color. I don't want it to be too purple. I just want it to give like a hint of a berry color. And that is that color there. That's the only place I'm really putting it, is on that inner portion of my eye. And that is the color B from the Saharan Blush Volume 2. Then I used the color I'm Shy from the Orgy palette on my brow bone, and I just used that as the highlight, but also to drag down any of the blend that maybe got a little too high. And then for the black, I was going to use a black like primer, but I decided to just go ahead with a black shadow, and I used the color Hearse from the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Cremated eyeshadow palette. So this is a lot of placing the color, pulling it out, placing the color, pulling it out. So this does take a little bit. Honestly, like, you're way better off to do primer, like a MAC paint pot, or like the Louise black eye paint, as opposed to the eye base. I don't remember what it's called, but it's so much easier to apply that and then create a smoky eye from there. So once you've applied that black, you're really going to want to focus on softening those edges, but we're actually not going to be blending it too high. Sassy has kind of this stark shape to the eye, so there's not going to be much of a blend in that regard. I also did use the color I'm Shy on the inner corner. Then I'm curling the lashes, and I'm using the Benefit They're Real Magnetic Mascara. And I am using the e.l.f. H2O Proof Eyeliner Pen. I definitely don't mind this eyeliner pen. You just have to give it a really good shake when you use it first. And then do the same thing to the other eye. As you can see, I'm not pulling the black too far up into the crease. It's more so pulling the black out. So we're softening the edges in the crease, but not lifting it super high. And the lashes were a custom pair. Honestly, I can't remember where they are from to tell you, but they're just 2 natural sets of lashes. Actually, no. These are a different set of customs that are not natural. My next tutorial has a more natural set of lashes, so I'm lying right to your face. And blending that out. And then sometimes if I feel like I didn't lose the intensity of the berry tint that I want, I go back in with that and just apply that in the crease. But like I said, we don't want it to be too berry, just like a little touch. And then cleaning up that outer edge and making sure that the inner corner is nice and softened as opposed to looking like that stark black shadow. So lots of blending and softening with this. With any black shadow, I find that's always usually the case. I really should have used a black primer base, but I didn't. Then I use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Apply that on the nose, cheeks, chin, forehead. And then for concealer, I'm using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. And I'm applying that on my forehead, under my eyes, and on my chin. And then I just go ahead and blend that out. I wanted a perfected base for this as opposed to something of a more natural look. So I really wanted to make sure that this was nice and full coverage. And using my finger to blend under the eyes to get maximum coverage. Then I applied the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation with a foundation brush, and then I went back over it with a sponge to just get rid of any brush strokes or anything like that, and to make sure that it was like seamless, all one coverage, as opposed to if you apply it with the sponge. I find that wherever you dab the foundation is usually going to be the most covered, as opposed to kind of smearing it all over. That's what I enjoy, at least. For bronzer, I used the Lottie, for cream bronzer, I used the Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer in the color Light. And for blush, I used the P. Louise Peach Puff Liquid Blush. Just keeping the bronzer along the perimeter of the face, not doing anything too crazy. Keeping it soft and blended. I find just applying it along the very outer portion of your face gives the most slimming effect. So that's what I like to do. Then I just like to marry a bit of the bronzer on my nose to kind of make everything cohesive. Then there's that blush, and the blush might look a bit stark, but I will be using powder over top of it, which does tone down the color. I'm taking the MAC Studio Fix powder here in the white color. And that's the color Shivering White, and I'm applying that under my eyes, and then I'll be using my regular face color my regular powder on the rest of my face. Then I will use for the loose powder, because for me, I can't stand having tacky skin. I always have to have it be totally dry, so I will be going back in with a loose powder and using the Makeup Revolution Luxury Baking Powder. I do like this powder. I think it photographs really well. I think it gives a nice texture to the skin, sets everything really nicely. I don't even know if they still sell it, honestly. But all the products are listed below, so if you feel inclined, then you can go and check that out. And then I will dust off the loose powder, and then I'll go in with the Lottie London Suncatcher Sunkissed Bronzer and apply that in the same place. And then I used for blush the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 2, and I used the orange color. I think, well, it's like a peachy color. I think it's the top right color, if I'm not mistaken. I could totally be wrong, but regardless. And I used a black eyeliner. It's the Tanais Divine Kalo Kajal pencil. I used that on my waterline and then went back in with the hearse color and made sure that under my eyes was dark. For lips, I used the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny Velour Lip Liner. I wanted something that was a nice rose color, but was still a touch darker. So I went ahead and applied that along the perimeter of my lips. And for this look, I'm doing the apparent lip liner look, so I'm not really blending anything in. So then I used the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Diet Mannequin Velvet Trap. And then for lip gloss, I used the Silk Rope The Gloss by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Hair was so easy. It was completely straight and down the middle. And I just used a hot comb and a wax stick to make sure that everything was laid down and not poofy. And like I said, it was maybe a touch off center, but really no one but the camera is looking at me straight on. And if anyone tries to look at me straight on, I'll just turn my head a bit to the side so that it doesn't look noticeable. These are the life hacks that I'm providing you. Or tell them, don't look at me. You can do that. Like, don't look at me, my center part is off. But don't tell them that, just say don't look at me. Or like turn your head a bit to the side and no one will ever fucking know. And then I wanted to make sure that the center part was a bit more apparent, so I did take a bit of my powder and go back over the center parting with my powder. And that's the hot comb I use. I prefer the metal one. I know that there's not plastic hot combs, but a different, anyway, I like the metal one, period. And that is it, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and make suggestions for what you want to see. Bye.